Hello and welcome to the Trade Decorator Festival. This afternoon we are going live with Trimaco. We're going to be learning more about top quality products to help to protect your job site. To start the session, we have a series of product reviews from Nick Sammett at Rushmore Painting and Decorating, one of our product reviewers on the Trade Decorator product review team. Following that, I'll be joined by Paul Mousell from Trimaco, who will then be talking about some of the other products that are available from Trimaco, and he will also be available to take your questions in our live Q&A. If you're watching over on Facebook, welcome to the show. It's not too late for you to take your seat on our free event and put your questions to Paul about their job site protection products. We'll also be launching a competition live in the session, which is another reason to join us, where you could win an Easy Mask QM5000 Pro Starter Kit, one Tuff Dropcloth, an Eliminator Dropcloth, and Stay Put Canvas Plus Dropcloth. So it's a fantastic prize package there from Trimaco, and we'll be telling you how you can enter that competition a little later in the session. So first of all, let's take a look at some of our product reviews and look at the products from Trimaco.
Hello, Nick Sammett from Rushmore Painting and Decorating, bringing a product review on behalf of Trade Decorator TV. Today's product we're looking at is the Trimaco X.Board. But before we get stuck into the X.Board, if you are interested in anything painting and decorating related, then please subscribe to the channel and also hit the notification button so that anything we upload in the future you'll be notified of immediately. So Trimaco as a brand, you may know they make job site protection products, whether that be polythene for covering up furniture, coveralls for spraying, shoe protectors for protecting floors, masking tapes, and floor protectors themselves. The X.Board is one of them, and it's a personal favourite of mine, and I'm going to give you 4 things about the X.Board that I really like. One of the first things I like about it, and it's one of the main points about the X.Board, is that it's a hard-wearing cardboard floor protector for hard floors, and it is really good at protecting the floor underneath. You can pretty much throw anything at it, whether that's liquids, tools being thrown and dragged all over it, dust extractors dragged all over it, using it as a walkway, wet feet coming on and off of it all day. It will withstand that and protect the floor underneath, which is one of the key features of the X.Board. The second thing I really like about it is due to the spill block technology it has in it, when you do spill liquids on it, it will not penetrate all the way through and damage the floor underneath. Got a little video now I'm going to show you of that in action. A little sort of imitation spill on an area of X.Board that I've got here. Little offcut. This has been on here for about 45 minutes now, just to give it as much time as possible to penetrate if it was going to penetrate at all. And as you can see, absolutely nothing. That's not a bit of paint coming through, that's just a mark of some sort. So it's doing exactly what it's designed to do. As you can see, it withstands the spill really well. The third thing about the X.Board is that it's very easy to clean. It's a very time-saving product. So when you're working throughout the day, you can simply just hoover up or sweep up or even mop if you want, because of the spill block technology. Any moisture from a mop or a sponge or something will not penetrate all the way through, so it can be treated as a regular hard floor. And the fourth thing about the X.Board I like, that it sort of ties in with the third thing, is you don't have to mess around with dust sheets. So when you're using the X.Board, you lay it down at the beginning of the job, and you can have it down for the entirety of the job, and you can clean up as you go. You don't have to take dust sheets outside, shake them off, fold them up, lay them down again in the morning, mask them down, stop it sliding around, anything like that. The X.Board is so much better and time saving in that respect. So that's another great feature about the X.Board. One thing I will recommend when using the X.Board is the heavy duty seam tape for joining the 2 bits of board together. So you overlap it and then use this to hold it together. Don't use that on the actual floor itself, because the adhesive is very strong and will potentially damage it. So I'd recommend just using a general purpose masking tape that will not damage the floor underneath. So for the amount we've got here, which is 50 foot, you're looking at around £15, so it's relatively inexpensive when you think about all of the the benefits that it offers. Overall, out of 10, I'm going to give this a solid 10 out of 10. X.Board is a product that I've used lots of times before and will continue to use because I trust it, I know it works, and it's never let me down. So a solid 10 out of 10 for the Trimaco X.Board there. Hello, Nick Summit from Rushmore Painting and Decorating, bringing you a product review on behalf of Trade Decorators TV. The product I'm going to be showing you today is the Stay Put Canvas Plus drop cloth from Trimaco, and this is a gripper style drop cloth which would be suited for hard floors like tiles and wooden floors, for example. In this review, I'm going to be giving you 3 things about it that I really like. But before we get stuck into the review, please subscribe to the channel, like, comment, anything you can do to help boost our content would be greatly appreciated. And also, if you hit the notification bell, you'll be notified of any reviews that we upload straight away in the future, so you can watch them there and then. So a little run through of this dust sheet. As I said, it's a gripper style dust sheet. It offers a few things. It's got slip resistance, leak resistant, it's very durable, which you'd expect from Trimaco, and it's resistant to all paints and stains. Get through it. I'm going to show you a little sample of the dust sheet up close, because this little tag comes with the dust sheet on the packet when you buy it. So you break the dust sheet down into 3 sections really. So you've got the canvas on the top, which is what you have facing up when you're working, and then if you peel that back, there's a little plastic membrane just underneath that, and what that does is that offers the leak resistance, so that prevents any actual paints or liquids going through. And then the last layer is the webbing, the rubber webbing, which offers the slip resistance on hard floors, and then you combine that to make the entire dust sheet. If you're looking for a heavyweight dust sheet, a very, very strong, thick dust sheet that you can maybe drape over things, then you may want to check out my other review from Trimaco, which was the Mousell Eliminator Dropcloth. They're quite similar, but they're quite different at the same time, so maybe head over there and check that out. That's on our Trade Decorator YouTube channel further down. But I'm going to give you 3 things about this particular drop cloth that I really like. And the first one is that it's super grippy, and you'd expect that from a gripper style dust sheet, and it does exactly what it says on the packet. I've used it on hard floors like tiles and wood and stuff, and it's held up really well, and it barely moves an inch. It's got really, really good traction. The second thing I really like is that it's leak resistant, and this is something that's quite important obviously for a dust sheet, because that's the main point of a dust sheet, is that it stops paint getting through it and protects the floor. But what I found using other style gripper dust sheets in the past is that you sacrifice some of the leak resistance for the grip that it offers, and whilst these other dust sheets do grip the floor very well, and they do stay where they're meant to be on slippery surfaces, if you do spill paint on them or stains or something like that, they tend to leak through because they don't have that barrier like I showed you on that sample in between, stopping the paint from getting through. So that's the second thing I really like, and I'm just going to show you a little video of both the grip and the leak resistance in action now, so you'll see up close how it performs. Just showing you the Stay Put Canvas Plus drop cloths from Trimaco. So these are the ones with the grip technology on the bottom of them. It's a whole webbing of rubber. Focus. Which enables them to grip to surfaces like this here. These hard floors are absolutely lethal with traditional canvas dust sheets. You know, if you had just a traditional drop cloth on here, it'd be like an ice rink. Having this on here, look. It's not going anywhere. Absolutely perfect for this sort of job. Just need a small area of floor covered. This is the 4x12. It's just the right length. We've got a little bit up there, and now I can work in this environment without having to worry about the drop cloth slipping around all over the place, and it's also protecting the floor as well. Result. Now you've just seen how grippy this sheet is from Trimaco, the Stay Put Canvas Plus, due to its rubber webbing on the bottom of it. But one of its claims is that it's leak resistant,
against paints and stains. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pour some on a brand new dust sheet on a customer's floor. The benefit to this is it's a hardwood floor, so if any did get through, I would be able to wipe it up quickly. But we're just going to imitate a spillage and just see what happens. I mean, this paint isn't cheap, so I'm not going to go through loads of it. Just do a little splodge there. And normally when you spill paint, it's by accident, of course, and you might not even notice it to start with. So we're just going to let it sit there for a little while, just to sort of penetrate into the canvas. If it was going to go through at all, it wouldn't happen straight away, it would happen over time. So yeah, let's just sit here and watch paint on a dust sheet. And then the next step, you might grab a cloth and opt to rub it in to remove the excess paint off the surface. And what that will actually do, more often than not, is it will push it through the fibres of the sheet and go through. So obviously you'd have to be careful, and the chances are you'd probably remove the dust sheet before you did that. And as you can see, it's not come through at all. I've actually just made it worse on the dust sheet itself. So I'm going to do it as if people would in an environment on a job where they would probably think, oh no, I've spilled paint on it, quick wipe it up. They wouldn't think to maybe take the dust sheet outside and do it. So you'd probably just gently wipe the majority of the paint up. But as I said, what you've done then is pushed it into the fibres of the dust sheet. So there's a very, very high chance that that's going to go through because you're really working it into the fibres, as I've said. So I'm fully expecting now to pull the dust sheet out of the way and find that it's gone through, which it hasn't at all, which is good. You can just see on the underside of the dust sheet the actual paint itself, but it hasn't worked its way through at all. Like, that's off my finger from before. Hold on, let me get my hands clean so I can show you. See, nothing. And I've used gripper style dust sheets before, which do grip, as they say, but also they don't prevent paint leakage because they don't have any sort of spill block technology. So they're good for one thing, but they're not actually good for what they're designed for, which is to stop paint from going through them. And the Trimaco ones are true to their word of leak resistance, which is obviously a massive plus for a decorator. So yeah, that's a great feature for them, definitely.
As you can see, it does really, really well. It does everything that it says. The third thing I really like about this dust sheet is that it's super tough, and that's something you come to expect from Trimaco products. I use them on a regular basis, like the X.Board here, the Eliminator Dropcloth I use on a regular basis, and these gripper canvas dust sheets I use quite often as well. If you're on a job that's permanent or a very long job and you're trying to protect hard floors, maybe you wouldn't opt for the canvas stay put drop cloth, you maybe go for the X.Board. But if you're in and out sort of like in a day or a couple of days worth of work on a job where there's a slippery floor, then this dust sheet is really good. So yeah, the third thing I like is it's really durable, tough dust sheet. Price wise for this, you're looking at around £30 to £40. This is the big one. This is a 9 by 12 foot, so it's absolutely massive, but there are various other sizes, and I've also got a little mini one which I use for when I'm painting a door or something like that. It's perfect for working in sort of like a small area. I think it's like 3 by 4 or something really small like that, and they're really handy for just having with you on the spot. Overall out of 10, I'm going to give this Stay Put canvas drop cloth from Trimaco a solid 10 out of 10. I genuinely can't find any faults with it. The grip is holding up really well, because sometimes they tend to fall apart after a period of time. It's holding up really well. I've had no issues with leaks getting through, and yeah, just generally a solid product from Trimaco. So yeah, 10 out of 10 for the canvas Stay Put plus drop cloth from Trimaco.
Hi, I'm Philip Hansel with Hansel Painting, and I'm here to talk to you about tape and drape. And we use it on the exterior of homes to cover up the windows and doors. We like to just run a strip of tape across the top pull down the masking film, mask off each side, then it's ready to spray. We like to use it on interior of homes, covering countertops and cabinets, windows, doors, anything that we're not going to paint. We'll just put it right on. It makes a nice straight line, and it's easy cleanup. Makes our job easy, and it saves us a lot of time and money.
Hello, Nick Sammett from Rushmore Painting and Decorating, bringing you a product review on behalf of Trade Decorator TV. The product we're looking at today is the Trimaco QM5000 Hand Masker Pro Starter Kit, and I'm going to give you a run through of things I like about this and a few things I feel can be improved. I'm going to be telling you what a masker is if you're not familiar with what they are already, and giving you an overview of what they're really good for. But before we get stuck into the review, please subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, like and comment. Anything you can do to help boost our content would be greatly appreciated, as that way decorators like yourselves can see our content sooner. So, what is a hand masker if you don't already know? A hand masker is a tool used to mask up and cover large expanses or even small expanses of area, like surface, like windowsills, doors, door frames, skirting boards, walls, ceilings, cabinets, anything you want. If you need to protect it from overspray when spraying, or even just roller splatter or paint splatter when hand painting, this is something you should be thinking about using, just purely on a time-saving scale and ease of use scale as well. What you get in the kit is a hand masker, a film, a roll of masking tape. I think I've used a masking tape in here, so it's not actually in here, and then a blade. And that's everything you need to get started when using a hand masker. Rolls of film are available in multiple sizes, I think from around the 1.1 metre drop mark to 2.5 metre drop. Don't hold me to those numbers, they're just guesstimates. But you have a variety of films available for different needs. And also you can use 12 or 6-inch masking paper as well. Masking paper would be more suited to masking up a windowsill, the actual glass of a window if you're spraying the frames and stuff, or skirting boards or something like that. And also films would be great for covering entire door frames, ceiling to floor on walls when you're spraying the ceiling or something like that, or masking up kitchen cabinets. I've had my hand masker now for 4 years, and the first thing I really like about it is just it's lightweight, super lightweight. When you're doing a lot of masking up, especially when spraying and whatnot, if you're doing cabinets or whatever, you're doing a lot of overhead work and you need it to be lightweight. And even with a big roll of film and masking tape, it's something that isn't overly heavy. It's easy to use, it's lightweight, and you don't get any fatigue really at all when you're using it, even for a long time. So yeah, it's lightweight. The second thing I really like about it is just the grip. It's just really comfortable, nice and squidgy, soft on the hands, not too harsh. And the third thing I really like about it is the blade. This blade was the blade that I got, which essentially comes in the kit when you get it 4 years ago, and the blade is still razor sharp, and it's done loads of cuts on both paper and film, and it's showing no signs of letting up. And I'm going to show you a little clip now of it in use, this one, not the one in the box, just so you get an idea as to how well this blade still cuts after 4 years, but also setting up and just generally showing you the use of the hand masker. So take a look at the little video now. little demonstration on assembling the Trimaco QM5000 hand masker. So the two things you're going to need are masking tape and film or paper, depending on what you're doing. Right, assembly of the QM5000 hand masker. So here we have a running wheel for the masking tape, and one thing I'd advise doing is just check how tight this screw is in here before sort of setting it up. Make sure it sort of spins freely, but not so freely that it's actually wobbling around and loose, and simply slot the masking tape on like so. The next step is to lift up this tab here so it's all the way back, and get your masking film or paper and slot it onto the hand masker like so. It should be a nice snug fit. And then what you want to do is find the end of your masking tape, run it through this section here. There's like a little tubular section that pops out the side of the the masker. You want to run your tape under that, up under the tab that you've lifted out of the way as well, and then without actually sticking it onto the masking film too soon, you want to have about the same amount of excess of masking tape as you do film, like so. Push the tab down and you're all set. When you're putting it all together, sometimes you need to adjust the blade, because you might be using 1-inch tape or 1/2-inch tape or 2-inch tape or whatever. So on the blade here you have numbers and holes to put the blade to the correct size. Fortunately, the one I'm using is the right size for the masking tape. It's in the right position, but should you need to change it, always have this blade cover on. Anytime you're not using the masker, basically, always have this blade cover on, because you might think it's only a piece of plastic, but the amount of times I've caught my fingers on these and they've bled because of it. You could damage the surface, you could damage something with it. So always have the blade cover on, because it can cause a lot of trouble if you're not careful with it. But yeah, so we're all set up, ready to go. And then when you get to the end of your run, you just want to make sure you've got a little bit more than you need, really. It's better to be able to cut a little bit off than to not have enough and then have to add some more on. And I'm actually just going to wrap this around the corner a little bit. We've got an overhang here of the unit, but I'm going to wrap it around anyway to protect it. So the application is very simple, as you can see. Very, very easy and quick. You can imagine doing this on a bigger environment, like an inside bathroom or covering up all of the units in a kitchen. It would take a matter of minutes to whip round and drop the polythene down. So what you want to do is just slowly find the end that's going to drop down and carefully put it down in position. Don't force it, just sort of let it do its thing. On the corners, because you're wrapping around the corner, it can be quite tight sometimes, so you just want to be careful not to pull it down like so. And because this has got like a statically charged kind of feel to it, you don't actually need to tack it down if you don't want to. Like you can see, it's clinging to the surface really well here. And I don't need to do anything to that now. So now I can sand down the worktop, I can oil the worktop. I don't have to worry about any particles of dust getting into the units or any oil dripping onto the unit fronts and damaging them. So it's as simple as that. It makes life so much easier. So as you can see from the little clip there, it's a great little tool for using on areas like that, whether that be kitchen cabinets or windows, etc. And also seeing the fact that it's easy to set up as well. One thing I feel I haven't mentioned yet and is important to this hand masker tool is the fact that it saves so much time. And traditionally we would have always gone around with bits of tape tabbing up polythene or paper and stuff like that, and you wouldn't never have enough hands free to do it. Having something like this saves so much time, and there is an initial investment, which is obviously buying the starter kit itself, and I think it's around the £40 mark. We'll get the RRP up on the screen for you now, as I don't know it off the top of my head. So you do obviously have to buy it first, but the time it saves over the years doesn't even compare, and the fact that they last so long, this is already 4 years old and it's probably got another 4 years plus if you look after it, is, yeah, as I said, no comparison. So time saver is a massive factor. But that aside, there are a few things that I feel could be improved about this machine. Is it even a machine? Would you call it a machine? Tool, I keep saying machine. The fact that there's a few things about this tool that could be improved though, and that is one, a ladder hook. I think a ladder hook's important. It's pretty self-explanatory. At the moment you kind of have to jam it in and secure it in weird ways. Having hands free when working on a ladder is important, and having a ladder hook on this would be a massive improvement. The second thing, and this isn't so essential but it would be really handy, and giving people the option would be good, to incorporate some sort of tape spool on the front here. So the tape spool here is obviously the bit that releases the tape. Having another one here just for a second masking tape to rip off and tab down bits as you're going along would be great, as opposed to have to keep switching around and whatnot with this and masking tapes. So yeah, a couple of things I feel could be improved, but they're not. The spool isn't so essential. It's more of a preference, but the ladder hook would be a great addition. Overall, out of 10, I'm going to give a solid 9. It's not perfect. There are a few improvements, but it's a solid investment for any painter and decorator. And if you haven't got one already, I definitely recommend going out and getting one. Hello, Nick Summit from Rushmore Painting and Decorating, bringing a product review for Trade Decorator TV. Today's review is going to be on the Trimaco Easy Up poles. But before we get started on the review, please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification button so that any future reviews you'll be notified of immediately. So the Trimaco Easy Up poles are a dust containment pole system, and what that means is when you're working in an area that you want sectioned off, so for example you have a fireplace or an area of cabinetry that you want to completely surround yourself with sheeting to prevent any dust from that work entering the other side of the room, then you'll use these dust containment poles to do so. I'm going to give you a little demonstration in a minute on my current situation that I've got them using. I'm using them on at the moment, but I'm going to give you 3 things about them that I really like first. And the first thing is the head and the feet are very big, is one point about them. They have a section that can enable you to maneuver it like so. So if you have a sloped area you need them to push up against, then you can adjust it accordingly. And also the feet and the head are made of rubber, or they're not made of rubber, but they have rubber caps on them, which means that when you're extending the system and compressing it against the bit above and below, the rubber offers good protection to stop it from damaging the surface. Second thing about them that I really like is the polythene clip. So if you can see here, I'm compressing this section here, and what that is for is when you wrap the polythene over the top to get started, instead of trying to hold it all in place with your hands and put the system up and just making a mess, you put the polythene over the top, trap it in, extend it, and that will stop the polythene from coming down. Third thing about the Easy Up poles that I really like, which is kind of hard to show you because I can't extend it much higher because these ceilings are very low, but it's like a foot jack system, and that consists of a foot jack here which extends this bottom area a few inches, and also a release as well, which you obviously would use your feet for, and I'm going to show you exactly how that works now. It has 2 regular style roller pole extension parts here, which consist of little holes every few inches which locks in, and you get your rough height that you need it to be. Sometimes you can go really close, just a couple of millimeters, but in this situation there isn't any more areas for it to clip into, so then you would use the foot jack. So you unfold it and just simply press it down, and then it will clamp to the ceiling and the floor. And then to release that, you simply just press the release button there, which is better than using these ones, because if you were to use these ones when the system is got a lot of tension in it, it could potentially break the clip. So that's not really a good idea. I'm just going to show you them in action now on the current job I'm on, and show you exactly how they perform on that. Using the Trimaco Easy Up poles here alongside the Easy Mask Film and Super Tuff Zip is enabling us to work behind this section of sheathing, sanding down, making a bit of a mess, but without it affecting the rest of the kitchen area. So they've been working really well so far, preventing the dust coming through. One thing about the poles that I think may be off-putting to certain people would be the price of them, really. They are expensive. They obviously vary depending on where you're buying them from and the discounts that you're offered at those places, but you have a 12-foot option, a 16-foot option, and then a 20-foot option, which I've got here. And I'm going to give you a size comparison. It barely fits in here because this is a very old house and the ceilings are very low. They're not 12-foot and 20-foot exactly as they are, but that's fully extended, because if that was the case, that would make me a very, very tall person. So 20-foot fully extended. This is 12-foot fully extended, and then 16-foot, which I don't have, which is fully extended as well. And they vary between £100 for a set of 12-foot ones, £120 for the 16, and then 140 to 150 for the 20-foot. So they are very expensive, but I think in the long run you need to be looking at it from a point of view where you would be using a lot of masking tape to hold the polythene up rather than just the dust containment pole. So if you were to think about all of the masking tape you've bought over the years to hold up polythene in those situations, you've probably spent a lot more than the dust containment poles in the first place. So that's obviously one thing to think about, is the price, and if they are worth buying for your situation or not. What I will say is the 12-foot for me is a good option for domestic work. This situation here, obviously it's a very old house, so the ceilings are very low, but the 12-foot is obviously good for that because it extends up to a 12-foot in total, but you can have it at anything between 12-foot and below, and I think they just stand at just under 5 foot as they are without being extended. If you want the 16 or 20 foot, I'd say they're more of a commercial style. I want a commercial style one, because 20 foot extended is very, very high. There's not very many situations where a 20 foot would be used on a job that I'm on, because I really do just domestic work. So yeah, that's probably one thing for the commercial side of things, and then the 12 foot is a great little domestic painter's option, I think. So yeah, I really like them. They come in really handy, and I'm going to give you a score out of 10, which will be a 9. Obviously there's a few things about them I really like, and there's the one thing, which is the price, which depending on your situation can be a little bit off-putting. So yeah, a 9 out of 10 for the Trimaco Easy Up poles. That's been my review of them for Trade Decorator TV.
Hello everyone, welcome back. So we saw a number of fantastic products there from Trimaco, all designed to protect your job site. Just to give you a recap, we looked at the Trimaco X.Board, the Stay Put Canvas Plus Dropcloth, the Tape and Drape, the QM5000 Pro masking kit, and the Easy Up dust containment poles. Now, if you are still watching us over on Facebook, thank you for watching, and I know a number of you are. The show there is about to come to an end as we go to our live session with Paul Mousell from Trimaco, where he'll be taking your questions on these products and doing some demonstrations on a number of other products available from Trimaco. So we'll also be doing our competition where you can win a fantastic bundle of Trimaco goodies, including the QM5000 Pro masking kit, If you would like to join us, as I say, come and join us from Facebook. There is a link there in the post. If you are here on Crowdcast, to get to the live session, you need to just press the green button that says Join Q&A. Myself and Paul will do a quick mic check and we will join you in the live session ready to take your questions. Thank you. Hello everyone and welcome to our live Q&A session and product demo with Paul Mousell from Trimaco. Hi Paul, thanks for joining me.
Hi there, hello.
So yes, as part of the Trade Decorator Festival, we're now going live with Paul. But before we do, we are going to take your questions with regards to the products we just saw in the reviews from Nick Sammett at Rushmore Painting and Decorating.
Yeah.
So shall we start, Paul, with the Trimaco X.Board?
Yeah.
If any of you do have any questions for Paul as we go along, if you could hit the Ask a Question tab and type your questions in there just to help me keep track of the session. And feel free to comment as we go along on what you're seeing. So Paul, the Trimaco X.Board, how much is that per roll?
So a 100-foot roll, like Nick was talking about there, a quick reference point would be Toolstation sell it for £33 a roll. So
Okay.
a 100-foot roll will cover 27 square metres of flooring protection.
And is this something that you can use on a carpet?
It would depend on the carpet. If it was very heavy duty, like office type carpet, like I'm sitting on now, it would work. If it was more of a plush style carpet that you get in a residential home, it wouldn't be suitable because you've got no support underneath and it would puncture. It is ideally used for harder surfaces.
Okay. And how many square feet does a roll cover?
So the 100-foot roll will cover 27 square metres. And the 50-foot roll covers basically half of that. So it's 13.5 square metres.
Okay. And can I join it with gaffer tape?
It wouldn't be recommended, no. As you saw in the video there, Nick had the seam tape that we offer. So there is a specific X.Board seam tape that you would use. The reason why the flooring protection is designed that once it's down for the duration of the job and you can just forget about it. The problem with gaffer tape is it will roll back. If potentially you were to drag ladders or a scaffold tower over it, you might find the gaffer tape will roll back. Gaffer tape doesn't like getting wet either. So if you've got a lot of foot traffic by a door or whatever, and then once the flooring would get wet or dusty, you'll never get the tape to ever re-stick again. The idea being if you use our seam tape, it'll adhere to the actual product and it will stay down for the duration of the job.
Okay, moving on to the Stay Put Canvas Plus Dropcloth.
Yeah.
I mean, that was amazing how the paint didn't even go through because of the barrier system that's exclusive to your products, which is fantastic. Yeah. What sizes do they come in, Paul?
So we do a 4x10 runner, which I think is the one Nick had on the video there, which is great for hallways, corridors, that kind of stuff. We do a smaller sort of 4x4 usable one, and then there's the big 9x12.
And how much are they to purchase?
So a 9x12 would cost you around about, I'm going to say around about 45 to 50 pounds at the minute. So yeah, it would all depend on, like with Nick, what Nick said with some of the other videos there, it would depend on your merchant and what sort of deals you get. But the retail on them is about 45, maybe up to 50 pounds.
Okay. And who stocks them? Who are your stockists?
So again, you'd be looking at brewers. Generally, will if they don't have them in stock, they'd certainly be able to order them in for you. Obviously, brewers are nationwide. With any of our products, if somebody wants to message me directly or give me a call, more than happy for people to get in touch, and I can point them in the direction of a local supplier to where they are. Okay.
And how long do these drop cloths last?
You're looking at years. If you use the Stay Put, they are designed that they're not a throwaway item like a conventional cotton dust sheet will be. You could potentially, if it obviously depends on how much abuse they get, but you would be talking certainly upwards of 12 months plus.
Right, that's fantastic. Moving on to the tape and drape, where can we buy this from, Paul?
Again, a quick reference point would be Toolstation. Dulux Decorator Centre stock our tape and drape, as do a lot of brewers as well.
And how long can we leave this on for?
So they're a 14-day tape. From experience, I've left it on longer, but the recommendation is 14 days.
Okay. And how much does the roll cost?
So you're looking at a roll of the biggest one, which is this one here, is available. This is the most popular one we sell. And at Toolstation, you can buy the tape and drape for around about £8-9 a roll.
Brilliant. Now, moving on to the QM5000 Pro masking kit.
Yeah.
Nick told us how much they are, but the obvious question would be, where can I buy one from?
Again, Dulux Decorator Centres keep these in stock. And again, if someone wants to find like a local merchants, independent merchants, contact me and I can point you in the direction of somebody.
Perfect. And what about the replacement tape and film?
Again, these are stocked with Dulux, who sell the hand maskers as well. You can interchange between sort of the masking paper. I think Nick touched on it in the video. You can use the paper as well as the film. You can actually use the high tack tape and the low tack KleenEdge tape that we do as well. So they are interchangeable depending on the surfaces that you want to protect.
Perfect. And can you use it with all sizes of masking film?
Yes. So they are interchangeable amongst the sizes that we do.
And Nick mentioned that a roll of tape was comes with the kit, but I think he said he'd already used it. What's the tape that comes with the kit, Paul?
So the one that comes with the kit is the KleenEdge Perfect Edge, which is our high tack tape that you see here.
All
but
right,
like
brilliant.
You can interchange it for the low tack if you wanted to.
Okay, just obviously depending on what the job is that you're doing that you need.
Mm-hmm.
And is there an alternative for masking large areas?
Yes, so we do a product called Clean Cover. This is a roll of roll-out film that we do that's statically charged, and you can literally roll it off, pull it out, roll it off in sheets, and just cut it with a set of scissors, and it will cling. If you're talking about kitchen units, that kind of stuff, it will literally hold itself to those units.
Okay. Now, we looked also at the Easy Up Dust containment poles.
Yeah.
Do you sell the polythene for the poles?
No, this is something you could just obtain from any builders merchants, basically. Any grade of film that you want to use. I mean, the system it has with the heavy duty pin to hold it in place means that you can actually use quite thick, robust polythene.
Okay. And is it just one type of polythene we can use, or can we use any?
You can literally use just about any. Yeah, within reason, obviously, but you can use quite thick grades of polythene.
All right, brilliant. And how much are the poles themselves to purchase?
So a pair of the 12-foot poles, you're looking at around about £155 for the pair.
And what stockists do you have for these, Paul?
So these are available to buy at Decorating Direct.
All right, brilliant. Now, you're going to do a few demonstrations for us on some of your other products, aren't you?
Yes, yeah.
What do you want to start with?
So the first one I'm going to show you, I'm just going to use swatch samples here. Now, Nick did a video on the X.Board, which is a very heavy duty flooring protection. We do a lighter version of this called X paper. Okay, so this is almost half the thickness of X.Board, but it's still 1.5 times thicker than conventional builder's paper. Like with the X.Board, it's made from recycled fibers. When you're finished with it, again, it can be recycled. So it ticks a lot of boxes for sustainability. It's breathable, the same as X.Board is. So if you're going to potentially use it on a floor that's maybe just been laid and it's still going through a curing process, it can do that. And it's ideal for using on wood surfaces because, again, you may well find that if you put any sort of plastic covering over a wood floor, the floor can sweat beneath that, and obviously with wood it can actually cause harm to the flooring. But with the X paper there, this is ideal if this comes on a 120-foot roll, so that's going to cover 33 square meters, and a retail price on the X paper is about £25 a roll. This is perfect for if you're doing maybe a light residential job, potentially a couple of guys working for a couple of days. This will be more than sufficient. Anything more than that, then you might want to look at the X.Board. But with that, it still has the spill block in it, the same as the X.Board. So if we actually pour fluid onto there, you'll see that it holds the fluid onto the surface and it's not going to soak through. This can actually stay on there for a good amount of time. As Nick said in one of the other videos, that if potentially you did have a spillage, you might not even notice. You're not going to find this is going to seep through or it's going to penetrate. The theory would be eventually it would get cleaned up, but you would find that this could potentially stay on there for anything up to about an hour. So that's the X paper. I'm just going to move that out of the way without spilling water everywhere.
Okay, fantastic. So if you've got any questions on the X paper, if you'd like to type those in now. And I'll just start off, Paul, by asking you where we can buy X paper from.
So this product you could buy online from Sprayman UK. I know who do a lot of range of products for spray consumables. It's ideal for spraying as well, because when you have overspray and so on, it's a nice lightweight product to put down to protect the floor that around where you might be spraying.
And how much is it per roll?
So yeah, you're looking at around about £25 a roll. So it's cheaper than X.Board, but you get an extra 6 square meters surface protection for that price. So
how much, what area does the roll cover?
So it's 33 square meters on a roll of X paper.
Okay. Can I use it to join it together with, sorry, what can I use to join it together?
So because this would be lighter duty protection over, say, the X.Board, where there is X.Board seam tape, with it being a lighter duty product, you could just use a masking tape or a gaffer tape in this situation, because the theory would be it's not going to be down for as long and it's not going to have the same amount of foot traffic over it as the X.Board's built to do.
That makes sense. And can it be reused if it's not been down very long?
Potentially, yes. It's not. Whereas X.Board's designed to be more reusable because it's more heavy duty. But yes, if it's not been down particularly long, yes, you could potentially roll it up and reuse it on the next job. But given the price point where it's at, there wouldn't be the necessity. Maybe not.
Okay. And so, why would you suggest using X paper over X.Board?
Purely because you may well find cost is a big thing, but you might find on lighter residential jobs, the X.Board could be a little bit of an overkill. X paper being almost like half the price might be more cost effective.
All right, perfect. Do you want to show us? Oh, Brian says, love the tape and drape and X.Board. He uses them a lot.
Brilliant. That's good to know.
Do you want to show us your Eliminator Dropcloth now, Paul?
Yeah, again, I'm gonna demonstrate with a swatch sample that we have here. Okay, so the Eliminator is a butyl dust sheet drop cloth. We sell this in a 9x12. It's a very, very heavy duty, robust dust sheet that's non-slip, so it's perfect to use on hard surfaces. It's tear resistant, so you can pull at it. It's very tough. Drag ladders over it, that kind of stuff. But where it really does come into its own is the fact that the non-slip really works best with pressure applied. So if you want to move it around, bear in mind a 9x12 is very heavy. But if you want to move it around on a floor, it'll move nice and easily. But if you apply pressure to it, as you can see there, it's not going to slip, it's not going to move. But it's also going to hold large spillages. So if there was a big spillage of paint, there's not going to be any seepage in there, and it's going to hold the whole spillage on its surface there and protect the floor beneath it.
Okay. I'll just come back and ask you some questions on the Eliminator Dropcloth. Yep. So why would you suggest buying this over a conventional cotton dust sheet or a poly-backed cotton one?
So potentially this is going to give you a lot more slip resistance, and it's going to be a lot more durable. So certainly a standard cotton dust sheet, like Nick said with the stay put canvas. So this would come in as the next product beneath the stay put canvas. So the stay put canvas is like our top of the range dust sheet. This would be the next one down. Does a very, very similar job. It's a cheaper price point, but certainly, as Nick said, a standard cotton dust sheet on a hard surface is pretty deadly. It's a trip hazard. They slide about and they move. So this is going to give you the slip resistance, but it's going to give you that protection against spillages and so on as well that a cotton dust sheet won't do. The other thing is the polyback ones can sometimes delaminate after a while. So the actual polyback on them starts to break up and come apart. With this, in the way it's designed, this isn't going to delaminate, and you're not going to find that it's going to wear out anywhere near as quick as a conventional polyback dust sheet.
Okay. Now, you mentioned price point there.
Yes.
What would we be looking at cost-wise, Paul?
So this would come in at around about £30 to £35. So it's a good price point, cheaper than what, say, the Stay Put canvas is.
Okay. And who are your stockists for this?
So again, you'd be able to get this from most brewers. And again, with regards to sort of independent merchants, if people want to know where they get it locally, by all means, get in touch with me directly and I'll point you in the direction of somebody.
Okay. Shall we have a look at your One Tuff Dropcloth?
Yeah, we can. So I have to get up for this one. So our One Tuff Dropcloth, or dust sheet, as you see here. So I might just pull that back a little bit. So the One Tuff Dropcloth that you can see, this is a very, very lightweight synthetic dust sheet that you see. Okay, it's very, very tough. It's very durable. If I pull at that, it won't tear. It's made of what's called Sontara, which is a synthetic material manufactured by DuPont. It makes it very, very lightweight. It makes it, it has a slip resistance to it, and it also prevents spillages. So again, if I actually pour some fluid on there like that, and I've put quite a lot on there, you'll see, if anyone was to actually step in this, it will draw off what's on your shoes. I think that'll pick up on the video there. You can see that what's on my shoes is disappearing as I walk on it, okay? But despite all that fluid being on there, if we actually pull this back, what's beneath it is absolutely bone dry. So we actually sell this product as a dust sheet, and we actually sell it as a flooring protection product.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. So what sizes is this available in, Paul?
So the dust sheet is a 9x12, and then we sell it on a roll as a surface protection product. That's a 15-meter roll, and that covers 9 square meters of surface protection.
Brilliant. And where can I buy it from?
Again, these would be available from Toolstation or Decorating Direct online.
Okay. You've got a quick drop product, haven't you?
Yeah, I'll get up and demonstrate that one as well.
I'll let you have the screen.
Yeah, let me move that out of the way. So this is a fold-out dust sheet, as you can see here. Okay, so this is ideal. This is actually padded. If I can show you, if we get close enough, you'll actually see that this is actually a padded product. So this is ideal for getting down, doing low jobs. It folds out, but it'll actually double up as a knee pad. So you can actually drop to your knees on this, and you can put it up against skirting boards, that kind of stuff. Doorways where you've got a lot of foot traffic, it's ideal. If you've got people coming in and out, but also if you just want something to protect underneath the doorway whilst you paint. But as you can see from the state of my one there, it's had a fair amount of use and a fair amount of abuse as well.
Okay, so where can I buy this one from?
So the quick drop again is available from Decorating Direct. And again, I believe you'd be able to order that from most brewer stores as well.
Okay, Brian's just saying they are great. I didn't know they were still available.
Yeah, very much so.
Fantastic. And what sizes do these come in?
So we just do the one size of that product there. And you've caught me on the hop with the size of it. Bear with me 1 second. The quick drop. So it is actually a 2 meters in length by 0.6 meters in depth.
Okay. Brian says his is wearing out. So you know that you can get another one now, Brian. They're still available.
There you go.
Now, you've got some masking products as well, haven't you?
Yes. So we do a whole range of masking products. Some of them we've touched on already with the tape and drape. These are some of what you see here. We have our KleenEdge low tack tape. We do our Perfect Edge, which is the blue high tack tape. That is the one that comes in the hand masking kit, tape and drape, and then we do the films and we do all the papers as well.
Okay, so Okay, so where can we buy the KleenEdge from?
So KleenEdge is available again nationally. Toolstation, you will find that most merchants will keep KleenEdge in stock. Again, if people need pointing in the local direction of where they can get it, give me a shout. But it's widely available through most paint merchants. Certainly brewers I know keep it in stock. Toolstation keep it, and most independents as well.
Okay, that's good to know. And what about the masking films and paper? Where can we buy these?
And again, yeah, these are all available at Dulux Decorator Centres, who also sell the hand masking kits as well.
All right, fantastic. Well, you've got a fantastic range of products, everything that a decorator needs to protect the job site.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us for this session. We are going to be starting to launch our competition now. You can see there's a button on the screen that says Enter Competition. This competition is to win an Easy Mask QM5000 Pro Starter Kit, one Tuff drop cloth, an Eliminator Dropcloth, and Stay Put Canvas Dropcloth. So if you click on that button after we finish, it will take you through to the Trade Decorator website, and there is a entry form there. It's all GDPR compliant. All the T's and C's and closing dates are on the form. So get your entry in, and we'll be choosing the winner for this and the rest of our competitions once the show is over. And you guys are coming to our exhibition at Old Trafford Football Stadium in June, aren't you? You're exhibiting.
We are, yeah, we certainly are. I know that certain of my colleagues who are from Manchester are having a tough time having to walk into Old Trafford, but I'm sure they'll get over it.
Well, we're really looking forward to bringing our live show, the first year of our live event, and we hope that lots of you can make the show. If you do want to register, there is the registrations are now open, and you just need to go on to our website, which is tradedecoratorlive.co.uk, and you can get a chance to win VIP tickets. There's details on all of those. Sorry about that. I think you lost the sound. Just saying, I was actually just closing the show and just saying thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you, Paul. You've been a great guest on the show. Don't forget to enter the competition, guys. Thanks a lot.
Thanks very much. Bye.